I think I have a solution to the paradox for which God can't create a stone he cannot lift, otherwise will be a limitation to his power, and same things if can create a stone that he cannot lift, because it's a limitation as well. So both way it's a paradox to God be omnipotent. How do you solve that? I think I found a solution. If you are a programmer and you create a simulated world, a video game, you can decide the set or rule that will be the substrate for that simulation. You can do whatever you want and make the simulation in totally arbitrary way. But how can you lift a stone inside the simulation? That's the question. The answer is that outside the simulation, the stone doesn't even exist. The stone exists only inside the simulation. So the simulation at maximum is just a line of code, okay? So for the programmer to interact with the stone in the simulation, he needs an access to the simulation, a medium. And in that example, it could be a VR monitor, a VR tool that the programmer can use to decide arbitrarily to be part of the simulation for a while, so obey, for lack of a better word, to the set of rules he decided that, but by definition are limited, otherwise there wouldn't be rule at all. So doing so, he can lift the stone inside the simulation. So with that analogy, God can still be omnipotent, but interact in some way with the simulation and decide as a set of rule to not be able inside the simulation to leave that stone. Because outside the simulation, there's no stone at all. So that's could be our condition. We are in the God simulation, and outside that simulation, there's nothing that we know. There's no tree, there's no stone. This all, well, all that it is here we experience because inside the simulation, this code has a meaning, and we can experience it through our senses. Outside, there's transcendence. The transcendence, there's not a tree anymore, there's no sun anymore, there's just an union with God. And so this solved the paradox. And another example that came to my mind is, for instance, a metaphor. Let's say God is the air, all the air is God. And the simulation is a separation from all the air that may be represented by a bubble that may think to be the whole cosmos, the whole creation, the whole universe. Inside we are, some form of life that wonder how this bubble had been created and what's the origin of everything. And the limitation here, the paradox, is that God, that is the air, cannot interact directly with the air inside the bubble, because it will require to, remove the barrier between them, that is the barrier of the bubble. But if you remove the barrier, there's no bubble anymore. If there's no bubble anymore, that's transcendence. The limited identification you had before inside the bubble as a separate entity, it will be no more, because now the air is merged with all the other air, with God itself. That's the symbolism of transcendence. Okay, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it's solved or gives some new perspective about how to solve this problem. And bye, Alex O'Connor, if you want to meet with me and interact with those kind of thoughts, despite my pure English, it will be a pleasure. Bye, you all.